Have you got an 8-ton excavator and you're unsure as to whether you should be buying 7 or 9-ton buckets? Continue watching as we deep dive into both sizes to help explain how you could possibly be wasting time and money. Let's first address why you should be choosing the right size buckets for your 8-ton excavator. Excavator buckets are specifically designed to match the power and size of the machine that you're using. This is to ensure that the buckets that you purchase are fit for purpose, relevant to the power and efficiencies with use on site. With modern excavators becoming more powerful, relevant to the size of the machine, it's more important than ever now to make sure that you get buckets that will fit the power of the machine you're operating. As a result, what we're finding is that the traditional 8-ton buckets are becoming less popular because the 8-ton machine is got the power now more like a 9 to 10-ton machine. This means that the 9-ton buckets are built and manufactured to withstand the modern 8 and 9-ton machines, whereas the 7-ton buckets are built to work with the 7 to 8-ton or older style 8-ton machines. If you're operating a modern 8 to 9-ton excavator, using the 7 to 8-ton shell buckets is not advisable. Subsequently, this could mean that your buckets will fail with the extra pressure and force that's loaded onto a 7 to 8-ton shell in the new modern 8 to 9-ton machines. Whilst the 7-ton buckets may initially seem cheaper, they will likely fail prematurely if you're using them on the 8 to 9-ton more modern machines, because their force and breakout is much stronger. You know, a 7-ton shell just isn't built to work on those machines. Under intense pressure, these smaller buckets will tend to break, bend, or even crack. And obviously, when this happens, you've got downtime, which is money, and then the cost of either repairing or even prematurely having to replace your buckets. Whilst the smaller buckets seem like a good idea and are going to save you money in the short term, in the long term it will end up costing you more money and time. Always buy buckets relevant to the machine. Health and safety is a big thing here too, because no one wants buckets falling apart when you're right in the middle of a project. So let's take a look at the main differences between the Rhinox 7 to 8-ton buckets and the 8 to 9-ton buckets. For this purpose, we will use a 24-inch digging bucket to help us explain the next few points. As mentioned, our 7 to 8-ton buckets are built to work with a 7 to 8-ton machine, or what we might call the older 8-ton machine, i.e. a Kubota KX080. These buckets have a 5mm thick shell and a 6mm top tube. They also have a 20mm HB250 lip plate with the JCB style bolt-on teeth, which includes the bolt-on side cutter. And they also have the standard horizontal wear straps welded on the rear of the bucket. Comparing this with the 8 to 9-ton shells, which are built to work with the 8 to 9-ton machines, like a ZX95, which is a 9.5-ton machine. They have a 6mm steel shell with an 8mm top tube. They have a 25mm HB250 lip plate with cat style tips and adapters, and they have a welding cast side cutter. They also have larger wrap-around wear straps which give a larger area for protection on the rear of the bucket. Although the 7 to 8-ton buckets will be cheaper in the short term, from what we've explained, shown you how the 8 to 9-ton buckets are built a lot more substantially, it will actually cost you more money if you're using those 7 to 8-ton buckets on the 8 to 9-ton machines. So in principle, this also applies to the grading buckets. So the 7 to 8-ton and the 8 to 9-ton, they're built differently. The same principle, what we've just explained on the digging buckets, applies to the grading buckets. So if you want to see a bit more of an in-depth comparison between our 7 to 9-ton grading buckets, watch this video here for more information. And don't forget to subscribe because you don't want to miss out. Seems like a good idea, initially may seem, I'll do that again. 7 to 9,